Ladies and gentlemen, I have an announcement to make. I've seen about 30 seconds of this video, and this might just be the only wrestling video on the internet that I agree with 100%. Now, the video is 4 minutes and 26 seconds long. I've only seen up to 30 seconds. I've rewound the tape. We're going to play from the beginning, and you're going to see my reactions in live time. Now, the only thing I disagree with about this video is its title, and the title is AEW's Only Problem. Only problem. Because I'm seeing a lot more than just one. As I said on the Joe Cronin show, AEW has about 45 problems. Let's play the tape.
If you called and told me about a wrestling company with Edge, Bryan Danielson, MJF, Chris Jericho, Swerve Strickland, Sasha Banks, Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, Sting, and Okada would go from stuffing basketball arenas with fans to barely filling them up a quarter and lose half their audience in the process, I would have said, who is this? And what you wearing? I love AEW, and I've been watching from the beginning. The in-ring action, slams, flips,
Now, I too have been watching from the beginning, and I agree with everything this guy's saying. They sold out arenas. There was a time when they were getting well over 10,000 people in those arenas every week, selling like hot cakes. And he comes in, he's like, how do they go from that to only a few years later, they can't sell 2,000 tickets? What's going on? Let's see what else this guy has to say.
Going through sheets of glass, lighting the guy on fire. Ah! It has been a chaotic, fun thrill ride that, when at its best, has created some of the greatest moments in wrestling history that you can't stop.
Absolutely.
But why you can stop watching is because of the bad story. For example, let me introduce you to a man that was primed to be the next Goldberg and Batista of AEW.
Here we go. We all know. Yep.
For those unfamiliar, Wardlow is as strong as an army tank, but also as athletic as Jeff Hardy. On the mic, he's super solid and carries himself as a top G. If a guy like
Wardlow, I gotta be honest, at first I didn't believe in Wardlow. And now I fear, well, I think I believed in him too much. And I'll let him explain, I'll let him finish. But when Wardlow first came in, nobody knew who he was. Wardlow was one of the first actual homegrown AEW stars. Everybody else was either, we knew them from WWE, you knew them from New Japan or Ring of Honor or wherever else. But Wardlow was just a guy that came in, and he was AEW's hottest act for a while. And he was a homegrown star, and he was supposed to be, absolutely, like this guy just said, the next Bill Goldberg. Let's keep watching.
This is on your show. How could he possibly have a bad story? Let me explain.
I don't know.
Wardlow started out as a bodyguard for the most evil guy in the company, MJF.
Yep.
But after 2 years of putting up with his BS, he decided to utterly eviscerate him. So bad.
In a match that was only a few minutes long, squashed MJF and set himself up to be the next AEW champion.
So bad that he left the company for half a year afterwards. God damn! A good guy now. So what do you do to have him follow up on this newfound freedom and crowd support? You have him beat up a bunch of pointless security guards, then have him lose to a bunch of guys for a few months, then take him off TV entirely for 7 months, only to bring him back with a lame group and make him a bodyguard again, but this time for a guy in a wheelchair, and have him disappear off TV for another 6.
Wardlow is AEW's biggest fumble ever. Wardlow is Tony Khan's biggest creative fumble, because they had lightning in a bottle with Wardlow. But this isn't just the only... Wardlow's not the only case. How many other stars were white hot in AEW that Tony Khan couldn't capitalize on? And now we are stuck in 2024 in an ice-cold AEW where the only stars of the company were force-fed to us and were already stars from the beginning somewhere else.
With so much upside, be clowned and put in these types of storylines Vince McMahon would give to someone who sneezed in front of him.
Ask
Who knows?
Tony
Maybe
Khan.
He's secretly a bad dude.
Ask
backstage.
him.
Which kind of goes into my next point. In AEW, sometimes you don't know who is a bad guy or a good guy. Like their former world champion, Swerve.
Listen to
Swerve
this.
is the man that got all the good guys together to fight the evil bosses and won. Swerve is a good guy,
Yep.
right? Wrong. Swerve then said he was going to cripple and retire Bryan Danielson in front of his wife and kids in their next match. Swerve is a bad guy. Wrong again, though. Now he's showing us pictures of his family and says that he's buying the house he got evicted from.
I just want to add on this a little bit. Yeah, okay, listen. Swerve can flip-flop as a good guy and a bad guy all he wants. Swerve can be good one week and bad next week. That's just who Swerve is. What I can't make the exception for is what we saw on Grand Slam, Dynamite Grand Slam, when Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher is part of the Don Callis family. Will Ospreay is not part of the Don Callis family. He was, but he left because Will Ospreay is a good guy now. Don Callis is the most hated man in AEW, but for some reason, Kyle Fletcher is like a good guy almost, and he's really getting over with the crowd, but everybody hates Don Callis, and Don Callis is scum. And the Young Bucks are also bad guys. So why is Don Callis with Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay rooting against the Young Bucks, who, by the way, the Young Bucks took out Kenny Omega. The Young Bucks turned heel on Kenny Omega. Don Callis doesn't like Kenny Omega. Don Callis and the Young Bucks have never really had this great relationship in the first place anyway. But you'd think they would have played on that a little bit with this match. Taking, like, the tag division is I can't. Let's keep watching. I'm going to lose my mind.
From when he was a kid. Swerve don't know how to drive. And the crazy part is, it all happened in about a month. But he's just one example. AEW loves to flip-flop their people from going good to bad with no storyline. And with that much back and forth so often, it's hard for fans to figure out if they should be screaming for this guy or booing him out of the building, which makes it even more hilarious when the wrestlers talk to them. But one of the absolute worst things that AEW does to itself is the never-ending barrage of putting unknown guys in random matches with no story on TV.
Absolutely.
They do this to a lot of their young guys and new signings, and it makes it impossible for anyone to care about them as a character because why should they? And it's a shame. Because the new guys start off showcasing what they can do, but with no story beats to carry them to that next level, they eventually just drop off the face of the earth. Hopefully AEW changes.
And that has happened to about 30 to 40 signings that AEW has made.
AEW changes this soon because guys like Kyle Fletcher are doing some incredibly innovative moves and could really be the next big thing in the company. But when he's doing cool moves on a guy, no context or story, I always get the feeling that
not only that, but just to add on to that, Kyle Fletcher isn't the only one. Hey, let's showcase Kyle Fletcher, or let's showcase whoever. Hey, look at this new signing. They're going to be in some awesome matches, and this is what they can do. Holy, that is a talented guy. You know who else is a talented guy? 95% of the AEW roster. What sets Kyle Fletcher apart from them? Nothing.
That something's missing, or worse, ask why am I watching this? And Kyle has been putting on a lot of great matches recently, but still doesn't have a long-term storyline to justify why he's fighting these people. It just doesn't make for good TV.
What should happen between every beat that you've written down is either the word therefore or but. Come up with an idea and it's like, okay, this happens, right? And then this happens. No. It should be this happens and therefore this happens. But this happens, therefore this happens.
You're just watching, it's like this happened, and then this happens, and then this happens. That's when you're just going, what the f am I watching this movie for?
Yes,
I know I spent a lot of time
where did that guy
like
find that video?
AEW, but I don't. All of this comes from a place of growth. I want to see them be the very best they can be. Plus, there is hope at the end of the tunnel. With a roster like this and coming off of 2 phenomenal pay-per-views.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a second. Give me a second. Okay, Abaddon, where is she? Okay, where is she? Where is she? Where is, first of all, Athena, Ring of Honor. I don't even know who that is at this point. Everybody wears a mask. But he's right, though. And this isn't even all of the roster. This is just a small portion of the entire roster. And a lot of these people are not wrestling here. I mean, granted, some of them are injured. But this, I mean, we got Adam Copeland. Like...